My name is Steve Erwin, and today we are looking at the dairy cow. Now the dairy cow stands about 5 feet tall, weighing 1,500 pounds, and you can see my mate is up there. Won't recommend doing this to any cow. Luckily for good old Pet here, she's nice and calm. Holstein cows in their very own nature are very soft in demeanor, and they are one of the more relaxed dairy cow one can work with. Going on to milking, so cows get milked about 2 to 3 times a day. This is important. If they don't get milked or if they get skipped missing milking, they can actually get what is called mastitis. And mastitis can only be resolved with an antibiotic, and it's like chunks out of the milk. It's really painful for the cow, so you try to make sure that you don't do that. And also, cows love routine. Kind of like people like their routine and their patterns, same with cows. A cow will go and be waiting outside for that dairy farmer to come and open up the gate so that they can go into the parlor. There's even such things as robotic milkers, and this is all possible because a cow is so reliant on that routine that they will actually go and milk themselves to get it done with. A cow produces about 5 to 7 gallons of milk every day. Now, in order for that to happen, she needs to drink 30 to 50 gallons of water every day. Now, that amounts to about 240 to 400 pounds of water every day. So this animal is really reliant on that water, and without that, she's going to be in trouble. Also, when it comes to producing milk, these dairy animals also need to eat a lot of food. They eat about 100 pounds per day per each animal. And also, a little known fact about the dairy cow, they actually have best friends. So you will actually see 2 cows go up together and be together outside while they're also milking. And this cow on the left, she's actually not all Holstein. She's a little different looking. She's all black. She's part Angus. She's an oopsie, which is what her name is. The Angus bull got out and got one with the Holsteins, and so we have a couple mixed breeds in there. But she's still a beautiful, gorgeous animal that we have on the farm. Now this is a video just to show how play-like these animals can be. They will jump and kick and run, kind of like any dog, or that's what my dad likes to refer to them as. But they're also very curious by nature. I'm sure people have seen those videos where these herds of cows are chasing those little remote cars around in the field. But here you can see she's locked on a dog. She was so curious about the dog. She's not frightened by the dog. She's more so like, what is this? Can I sniff it? Can I lick it? If the dog moves, she'd probably jump up again and freak out. But she also has no baby that she's protecting, so she's totally relaxed. And then going on to babies. So a cow has a baby almost every year, but a little over a year. Right here we can see we have the first cow who is being stood on. This is her brand new baby, probably about 5 hours old. And it's already up and standing. It's nice and cleaned off, as you can notice. And then the one over here, just born. That mama is getting ready to lick off her baby and take care of it. And it's really vital that the mama licks off that calf, or otherwise that calf could be in trouble. Predators could smell that calf because they can smell the afterbirth. That calf could get sick from being wet and cold, and it also really jump starts their vital organs and gets them going ready for a jump start on their life. And then a cow is pregnant about for 9 months. They go on for a dry off period for about 2 to 3 months, depending on the cow, how much time that cow needs a break. And that break is really vital because without that, she would not produce as much milk. So each time they go on a break, they get bigger and bigger bags or bigger udders, which then increases their production. And each time they have their calf, the mother's milk is actually left for the calf for about a week. That doesn't go into the bulk tank. That's not human for consumption. That's for the baby. And without that, that baby would really be struggling. So kind of like with infants, baby infants, if they don't get their mother's milk, they usually have a little bit harder time because there's so many nutrients and valuable things that they need out of that milk. And then this is just a beauty to see. This cow had triplets, super rare, hardly ever happens. You'll get twins occasionally, and if you have a boy and a girl twin that happens, the girl twin is automatically assumed to be a free marten, which means she's sterile. That is just something that happens genetically. It's not something you can really do to control it. It doesn't probably always happen, but there's a high chance of that happening. So the farmer will just raise her as if she were a male. But lucky for this cow, mom's healthy, babies are healthy. She's standing up, which is a great sign. If she was laying down and the farmer went up to her and kind of tapped her and she wouldn't get up, she just bellered, that's a good sign she has milk fever, which means she's lacking the calcium that she needs, that she released or had happened when she had birth. So then the farmer actually has to take the cow and put a nose ring in her nose and then tie it to one of her back foots and get down and find the vein in her neck, because you crane the neck, and actually has to give her an IV of calcium. And the reason it's important that they're tied, because the moment that jar of calcium is gone, and it happens pretty quick because it's going right into the bloodstream, that cow will get up. She'll get up no problem, like nothing even hit her. And sometimes that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it takes a few minutes, but usually it's very quick, or otherwise if that's a bigger cow, she might need 2 bottles of calcium. But it happens very rapidly. And also, another really beautiful thing about these animals is those calves were huge. Okay, when you have triplets, or twins even, they're usually about 50 pounds each calf. A normal calf weighs between 80 to 100 pounds. Each of these calves that I had to carry, 80 pounds. And there were 3 of them. I mean, it was, crikey, it was a lot. Okay? But they were all healthy. They're all beautiful. I'm sure they've got to be about 1 year old now, but I'm sure they're doing just fabulous. And then here's some more pictures of calves, because calves are adorable. On the left here we have a calf who's also mixed with a dairy shorthorn. It's just a different kind of dairy cow. Farmers really try to bring in other genetics into their herd in order to not have any inbreeding, and then also to potentially get genetics that they really want out of their herd animals. And this could be such thing as like, this bull has really nice calving ease from the calves he's produced, that the moms don't have any trouble calving, because usually your first calvers, like they're called heifers, the cows who have never had a calf, they're referred to as a heifer. And when they have their first calf, they really struggle. Kind of like when a woman has her first baby, it's not smooth going. You're in labor for a while. And so those animals really need to be watched. But you try to breed for that to not be such a pain, and so that that animal doesn't end up hurting the baby or end up hurting herself. And then in the middle there, I have my mate again, showing you just how big these animals are. They are easily carried, as long as you're strong enough to live to about 100 pounds. And then over here on the right, this was just during fresh season, which is just farmers try to make sure that they breed all their cows at around the same time, so that all their calves are being born at around the same time. That ensures so that these calves are not born in the dead of winter, which is very important for not only baby but also mama, to be exposed to the elements like that, especially up in Wisconsin. I know this winter it got to -70, so that could be quite a catastrophe. And then the last thing I have to or not the last thing, not yet, getting too excited. On the left here we have a brand new calf, and mom has hidden it. This calf was born out in the pasture, and naturally, kind of like deer, they hide their young to go, which isn't always a fun time, because if you can't find them, you'll be running through a bean field for about an hour. And this calf is a male or a bloke, and he's technically a bull calf right now. If he has really good genetics, he'll be raised to be a bull. But if it's not so great, he'll be raised to be a steer, which means he'll be castrated, and then he'll be raised for meat. And he won't get butchered until 2 or 3 years old. It's really, I mean, that's where all your steaks, ribeyes, all the good meat, not your hamburger necessarily. Hamburger does come from that, but not as much, because that meat is usually more tender, and you have to castrate them because testosterone produces muscles. And with those muscles, that meat will taste very tough, and it'll actually have a really weird taste to it. and I've seen this with pigs, not so much cows, but I had my dad cooking a pig one time that was obviously a boar, and it stunk the whole house because of testosterone. So the same is very true for animals like this, these cows. And then also, and then on the right, there, yeah, that's right, we have a heifer, as that's what she'll be referred to. She's tagged, she's identified, so that way the farmer knows who she is. It also gives you the day she was born, what farm she belongs to, so if she gets out, and you have the cops call at 2 a.m. saying, hey, your cattle are on the road, come and get them. You can know for sure if they're yours, and they also, each cattle gets branded. Ours get branded with an R, and that, because that's this person I'm embodying's last name, and that's just how that works. I wouldn't recommend doing that to yourself. But in about 2 to 3 years, she will become a new mama and start the cycle all over again. And then the last video I have is of a little older calf. You can tell that it's older just by calves naturally want to suck on your fingers. They will naturally latch on to your fingers, and it's safe. Their tongue covers up their bottom teeth unless you like stick your hand way back there. But she's also chewing her cud, and so that's a very good indication that she's older. I try to get her to suck on my fingers, but she is not interested. She's curious, but she's not that interested. She's just real cute, real sweet. I'm sure she's going to make a great mama. They're usually pretty friendly. A lot of farmers try to pet their cows in the face, so that way when they go to work with that animal, it is not such a pain. But yeah, she is just enjoying life, chewing that cud, which is actually, if your barn is silent, you can actually hear the cows doing that, and it's gross. It is so gross. You can hear them throw up, because that's what it is. They just throw that stuff up out of their ruminant and re-chew it so that it better digests. But it is a nasty sound. But that's all the time I have for you today. Thank you for joining me along on this adventure.